I mean, look, he's a beast, heavyweight champion, but a lot of people say he's going to beat Fury. I mean, I think that could be one of the hardest fights he ever has. And if I was Anthony Joshua, I'll keep away from Tyson Fury because he's a beast.
What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. So, Amir King Khan, or Queen Khan, whatever you want to call it. Amir, scary looking ass to Kell Brook Khan. Yeah, because what we do know is, never mind, AJ should be scary of Fury. What we do know is, Khan, you are. Never mind what AJ might be, or should be, or could be. You were hella scary. You're all the way scary of Kell Brook. Yeah? What we do know is, it's nightmare on Kell Brook Street. Nightmare on Hot Chocolate Brownie Street. That's what it is for you. What has been for the last 10 years. Kell Brook been all up in your dreams on some Freddy Krueger thing. On some Kell Brook. That's what he been on. Yeah? Freddie Brook been all up in your dreams, causing you nightmares. So let's not worry about other people's careers. Now I understand that. In fact, you know what? Before we go into cooking this dude, yeah? Before we go into cooking the Queen, let me give you the quotes. This is what Amir Khan said, and what you have to be careful about Amir Khan is, he thinks he's smart, he thinks he's kind of one of them ones, one of them, what do you call them? You know them haters, yeah? But they're not blatant about it, but they're kind of, they're on the roadside. Them ones there, them ones there. Not blatant, they're on the roadside to stay hating. Yeah? If you pull up in a whip, if you pull up in a nice whip, yeah, they'll acknowledge you, and then when you're around the corner, they'll say to their peoples, oh yeah, we know one of them ones there. That's what it is. Amir Khan is a roadside hated on. He in the car. One of them ones. You understand? Anyway, let's get to the quotes. He said, AJ is a beast heavyweight, and that's what I mean. You got to be careful. You have to kind of understand where Queen Khan's coming from, because to most low IQ and average people, they think, oh yeah, well, he's just giving a fair opinion, but it's not. It's deeper than that. Trust me. Yeah, the meaning of this is deeper than AJ was in his life, no doubt. Yeah, the meaning to this is deeper than AJ was all up inside his wife, 100%. Let's get to it. He's a beast. And listen, what we do know is, yeah, how does Amir Khan know he's a beast? Guess who we heard that from? And it weren't none of the boxing community. Yeah, you understand? Amir Khan heard that from his, yeah. He found out. Trust me, of all the people, yeah. Of all the people in the boxing world, Amir Khan knows AJ's a beast much more than anyone in the boxing community. He's got first hand knowledge from the cupboard, because you best believe Farrell put him in the cupboard, and AJ and her was going all the way out. He was going in, and Amir Khan was posted in the cupboard to stay peeping. So he knows AJ's a beast. Yeah, he stay giving the beast in. Anyway, so yeah. AJ's a beast. Heavyweight champion. And that's another thing. You notice how he throws in the heavyweight champion, just in case some of you man, oh yeah, I better, oh, AJ's a beast. Oh, heavyweight champion. The reason he puts that in there is because he realised he got caught slipping. Because in his mind, he's having flashbacks to when AJ put him in the cupboard, yeah, and AJ and Farrell was doing the thing. But he thought, oops, I've got caught slipping. I meant, oh no, he's a beast at boxing. You understand? That's what it was. I swear to God. If you read it, if you just kind of follow how the language here. Oh, AJ's a beast. Oh, at boxing. AJ's a beast with my missus. Oh, I mean at boxing. That's what it was. 100%, no doubt. 100%. AJ's a beast. Heavyweight champion. But a lot of people say, is he going to beat Tyson Fury? I think that could be one of the hardest fights he ever has. If I was Anthony Joshua, I'd keep away from Tyson Fury. Now, when you actually work out where Amir Khan's going with this, let me translate it for you, yeah? I'm going to give you the full translation. AJ was a beast with my missus. However, I don't want to be seen as a cuck. So, I'm now going to have to start hating. AJ should keep away from Tyson Fury. What he means, do you know what he mean by that? AJ needs to keep away from my wife. 100%. Amir Khan, yeah, he's transposing his wires are all mixed up. Because you man, some of you new dons don't remember how it went down. You man need to type in Anthony Joshua, yeah, and Amir Khan's missus. Trust me, it went all the way down. It went all the way down. The beast was present, 100%. Yeah? Amir Khan's been going through it for a minute. He's been going all the way through it. And this is the problem, you see, when you don't focus on your business. If Amir Khan was staying busy in the ring, but guess what? Women are only humans, yeah? They see AJ getting it in. What's Amir Khan been doing? Getting murked and moshed up. And listen, not one person, not one female watches Amir Khan's fights and thinks, wow, I want a piece of that. That's just what it is. And that's why Amir Khan felt some type of way. But it's his own fault. Because guess what? If you'd hopped in there, Amir Khan, and put some work in, and stopped getting knocked out, stop getting knocked spark out, and or ducking Kell Brook. Because to be fair, even if you'd have fought Kell Brook and got beat, we all would have respected you. But you didn't. You're scary. So your missus, yeah, she's looking at you, and there isn't a lick of masculinity about. Number one, you can't win a fight for love nor money. Number two, you stay getting knocked out. Number three, you can't fight you can't fight Kell Brook. So she's like, well, what can you do? You can't even hit it right because I've got AJ here. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones, 100%. And I've spoke to people close to the situation. Yeah. So I feel bad for Amir Khan because at this point it's all he can do. Amir Khan, all he can resort to now is them sly ones, them sly dig ones. Oh yeah, he should stay away from Fury. You know, one's there because what else can he do? He can't do anything else. He can't pull up. He can't pull up. He gets slapped. So he has to now. The best he can do now is rock on a podcast and throw the indirects. Oh yeah, AJ's a beast, but you know I'd stay away from Fury. Wow. No, Amir. Just because you stayed scary from Kell Brook, AJ wants that work bad, and that's why. Yeah. That's why AJ's in the position he's in, and that's why you're not. Yeah. That's why you got put in the cut cupboard. You was put in there. AJ put you in a nice and told you to keep and told you to keep the noise to a minimum. Yeah, he put you in there and said, listen, keep the noise to a minimum. No doubt. And you sat there, with your legs crossed, like a schoolboy, and was just peeping. Yeah, I'm not going to blame you because it is what it is. It's what it is. Yeah, the facts are the facts. For me to come on here and give you an emotional or try and be comic about it, that would be unfair. But I'm just giving you the facts right now. Amir Khan has been in his feelings for a minute. That's the truth of it. And it's a bit like, what's his name? Is it the Bellend? Yeah, it might be Tony Bellend, to be fair. Tony Bellend. He's similar. Oh, me and AJ's my best mate. And the next thing he'll say, oh, Tyson Fury's the best boxer, and he'll fill him in. Oh, you're one of them ones, flip-flop nonce. And the reason Tony Bellend's mad, not because, well, maybe he has, but I don't think because AJ's given his missus the pipe, but because of AJ's career. Tony Bellend finished his career on his back with his legs in the air, iced by some next blown up 175 pounder. AJ ended his career that way. At no point in his career. And a lot of these dons, a lot of these so-called, oh, he's my best mate. You know, one's there. Whenever, if anyone ever says, I'm your best mate on TV, there's something wrong there. Because anyone who's really your best mate should never feel insecure like that. Oh, Tony, you know what Tony Bellend's like? Tony Bellend's always, oh yeah, AJ's my best mate, and it's weird, it's goofy. Like, think about it. Anyone who's really your best mate would never be on TV talking, oh, my best mate, yeah, I love him, and it's a bit weird. If that's really going on behind the scenes, you don't need to be all in TV talking about it, because it would just be real, wouldn't it? A lot of these fake TV dons, like Tony Bellend, who, by the way, said he was disappearing, but is back in the video on Sky on DAZN commentating now. Just a goofy. Just trying to beg attention in every way possible. A lot of them cats, they're insecure cats. And that's why they flip-flop. 1 minute it's Fury, 1 minute Tony Bellend's on Fury, next minute on AJ. Obviously, Amir Khan's been going through it to a different level. Because, listen, I don't even blame Amir Khan. Because that's all he can do. Amir Khan's got nothing left. So all he can do now is rock on podcasts and try and put little sly indirects in there. Oh yeah, he should stay away from Fury. What? And that's the thing as well. They don't even give you no more information. A lot of these guys, they don't even explain what they mean. What do you mean? AJ should stay away from a man who can't punch for nothing. Explain that logic to me. It's almost like the goofies who tell me that, oh, YB AJ's ducking you sucks. What? Two men, Fury and Usyk, both of them should be in. Listen, I'm hearing International Olympic Committee are looking to put in a new sport. Yeah, dons who don't have a lick of power. Yeah, not a lick of power sport. How about that? Yeah, not a lick of power ball. That's what they call it. Not football. Not a lick of power ball is what they call it. And it's going to be You have Tyson Fury in there, and Alexander Usyk. They're the favourites I'm hearing. The bookies have got Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk favourites for not a lick of Powerball. Yeah, the IOC are putting it in. They've seen Tyson Fury making quite a big splash in publicity. They've seen Usyk rocking up, and they're thinking, you know what, we need to adapt to sport because these men ain't doing boxing. They're slapping. So we need to make a sport especially for them. Let's make, you know what I'm saying? Let's see who has the least amount of power. Let's see who slaps the most. You know what? Let's get Fury and Usyk in there because they're number 1 and number 2 at the moment. So back to the point. Oh, AJ, I've heard this before. In fact, who was it? Someone was saying, oh, AJ needs to stay away from Usyk. I thought, who was that? I swear to God, someone was saying that, oh, you know, Usyk is really serious, and I thought, I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. Maybe AJ's going to go in there and apply pressure to Usyk and bang away and lose. If that happens, I was obviously wrong. But until I see AJ marching forward and banging away, yeah, and he lose a fight doing that, I don't want to hear no more about it. Until that happens, until AJ is aggressive and gets beat being aggressive, there ain't no more to say. Especially by them two, Fury and Usyk. I don't know what planet. No word of a lie. I've heard people even saying that Usyk is going to probably stop AJ late. I kid you not. Usyk is going to stop AJ late. Usyk couldn't stop some random Don late. Couldn't stop Chisora late. What's wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you? And the thing is as well, YB, but AJ's chinny. Have you seen Chisora? No, I'm not being horrible. I like Chisora, but Chisora has been spark out. Yeah, he's been literally spark out. Again, I like him, but David Big Toe is anyone to me. I don't rate David Big Toe. David Big Toe in any other era, to be fair, it's cruiserweight, but either way, David Big Toe, no good. I don't know how he got to where he got, but he got there. Fair play to him. He's more successful than me, but the facts are the facts. The facts are, I don't know how he did it, because he ain't no good. Yeah? Big Toe iced Chisora. Dillian White iced Chisora. Usyk, whatever you want to call him, whatever goofy name you want to call him, Usyk couldn't hurt him. Usyk could barely back him up, and only did so because Eddie Hearn paid him to go back in a few rounds. I'm hearing that Eddie Hearn gave Chisora a kind of a bonus. Every round you run back in, I'm going to give you kind of 10 grand for every 30 seconds you spend going back. And that's why Chisora was going back so much, because I've never seen Chisora go back so much, and it makes sense now. One of my matchroom dons said, yeah, because we're trying to build an AJ and Usyk's fight. So Eddie Hearn told Chisora, every round you spend 30 seconds or more going back, I'm going to give you 10 grand. And that's why he's backing up so much. Because obviously, the more Chisora backs up, people say things like, and that's to be fair, Eddie Hearn's done a great job there. That was a good investment, because now you've got goofy fans saying, oh, but YB, look, I've never seen Chisora go back so much, and that was Usyk's doing that. So fair play to Eddie Hearn. Great marketing, but some of you dopey dons have been sucked into it. And you think it's real. You think Chisora, yeah, who marched down on Dillian White in the second fight and bullied him until the ref robbed him. You think that man was going to get backed up by Usyk? You're having a laugh. Who can't punch. But having said that, like I said, Chisora has been iced. Like, when I say iced, I mean iced. We've never seen AJ iced, and his fought punches bigger, or at least just as big as them two. As Dillian. Well, in fact, he fought Dillian White, didn't he? Chisora, AJ got caught with the same left hook Chisora did. And guess what? AJ took a half step back to gain his footing and carried on marching on. And that's why I tell you, man, AJ has one of the best chins. He has the best chin in the division at the moment. But that doesn't really say much, because there's not many great chins these days. But even historically, AJ has a top 10 or top 5 chin in boxing history. AJ has a top 10 chin in boxing history. Top 10. Bare minimum. And the only reason I'm not going with top 5 or top 3 is because I want to see a bit more yet. Obviously, by the end of your career, you can really tell. But what we know is, Lennox Lewis, spark out a few times. We've seen AJ hit with all the same people. All I've ever seen him do is kind of flop down. I've never seen him eyes in his head and fully unconscious and looking worse for wears. As in, all looking, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen him neurologically compromised. I've seen him tired. I've seen him whatevered, gassed. I've never seen him goosed. I've never seen him Tyson Furied. I've never seen him Undertakered. I've never seen him Amir Khan. So until that happens, and when you think about it, look at the heavyweight division today. Dillian White iced out. Povetkin iced out. Tyson Fury iced out. Deontay Wilder, Bambi on ice. Oh, YB, and that's the worst thing. I say AJ's top 10 all time, but whatever. And I also tell you he's got the best chin in the heavyweight division today. But when you look around, Andy Ruiz got put down by Areola. So who's got a better chin than AJ? Who's taken a Vlad right hand square on and just hopped up? And was all the way out of gas at that point. Oops. You ain't got no answers, have you? Because there ain't. Who is there then? I can't think of one person who, empirically or evidence-wise, has a better chin than AJ does. But anyway, I don't even know how we got onto this discussion. The point is, Usyk ain't knocking no one out. Fury ain't knocking no one out. Least of all, AJ, who has the best chin in the heavyweight division right now. In what area does Fury and Usyk beat AJ in? Foot speed, no. Hand speed, no. Power, no. Maybe if you want to give them the trickiness one, alright, I'll give you that. But trickiness ain't going to win a fight. Trickiness, when you've got a specimen like AJ marching forward, and your shots are bouncing off the guard, and he's digging away, trickiness is what it is. Just like when Chisora was marching forward, how was trickiness working for Usyk? And Chisora was paid off as well. Even paid off, Chisora couldn't barely put a dent in him. Sorry, even paid off, Usyk was desperate. Even paid off here, Usyk was gasping for oxygen. And I'm hearing after the fight, Usyk actually said to Eddie Hearn, Eddie, I thought you paid him. And Eddie was like, I did. And Usyk thought, fucking hell, I nearly got knocked spark out. What do you mean you paid him? There's no way you did. And that's what I'm hearing now as well, again. That's why this fight's taking so long to negotiate. Usyk don't want it. Yeah? He don't really want it like that. He's trying to kind of find a way, maybe if we get some Ukrainian mafiosi to put some pressure on AJ, maybe we can get Eddie Hearn to kind of play with his water bottle. One of them ones, that's what I'm hearing now. Usyk are trying to kind of get some leverage over AJ so they can get the win, get the dub. So, listen. Anyway, back to Amir Queen Khan. Amir, I know you're mad. I know you're going through it. I know it must have been hella traumatic for you, yeah? For AJ to rock round your yard and put you in the cupboard. Put you in your own cupboard and tell you to cross your legs and be quiet in the cupboard. You know what I mean? To put you in your own cupboard, to put you in your own wardrobe, yeah? And tell you to keep the noise down. And I'm hearing as well that he also kind of, on the way out, after he put Amir Khan in there, he also threw him a Game Boy. Said, listen, play on that. Yeah? For any time, if you not allow it. Listen, Amir Khan, you're going through it. We all understand that. We all understand it must have been traumatic for you. We understand AJ running all the way up inside your missus was hella traumatic. But you need to address that. It's just like Billy Ho Saunders. I said to him earlier. You man need to get into counselling. It's no good coming on interviews and podcasts and trying to put little sly indirects in. Counselling. That's what you need. To talk through your problems and get some real help. Because this whole social media thing ain't playing out for you. Just look at Billy Ho having to beg MTK to wipe all of his old interviews. That's how interviews have played out for him. Not good. They've only kind of re-victimised him. You don't want that. Look at this video. This video wouldn't exist here. This video exposing and kind of digging up all your dirty laundry wouldn't exist if you had kept your mouth shut. Or better yet, got counselling. Talk to your counsellor about these things. AJ's a beast, but you know, Fury will fill him in. Say that to your counsellor. Don't say it publicly, because when you say it publicly, I'm obliged to speak on it. I'm obligated, to speak on it. I can't let it go. It's impossible, because when people talk rubbish, it must be addressed. And you sitting there talking about, I'd avoid Fury if I was you. Number one, he's not you. Number one, we know you duck him because you duck Kell Brook. Yeah, so it's not like, the thing is, I never understood that. I never understood why people find the need to state the obvious. We know you'd all duck Fury, Khan, because you duck Kell Brook. So we don't need to tell you what you'd do. AJ ain't you. AJ's Khan would be anyone. Wilder, Fury, or even anyone. Klitschko, whoever you want. AJ's been through all of his Kell Brooks. You haven't. You've only took fights which you think make you look good. Or even if I lose, I can still hold some credibility. You've been a maths don. You've been doing all the calculations. You've never thought, you know what, I'll have a piece of him. If you did, you'd have fought Kell Brook. But you was too scared of getting filled in on your home turf. And that's why you ran to the US, to be fair. You realised you're chinless and you thought, oops. I don't want to be certified as fully chinless on UK soil. If I run to the US, maybe most fans won't see the fight and I can kind of get away with it. You didn't want to be mogged in the streets about being Amir, the chinless one can't. Yeah? And that's your choice, but to then rock onto a podcast and make out that you're really neutral and make out that you're not been traumatised by AJ and make out that you're just giving your honest opinion and it's valid. Oh, you know, I'd stay away from Fury, and you don't give no explanation for it either. Why would AJ need to stay away from Fury? Don't know and know. That's the truth of it. Because even Fury fans don't know. Because guess what? Fury didn't need to stay away from Otto Wallin. Do you understand? If Fury didn't need to stay away, if Otto Wallin didn't need to stay away from Tyson Fury, how would AJ need to stay away from him? Fury's been going 50-50 with random dons his whole career, but yet the super champion AJ needs to be wary of him. And it's not even like Khan said, yeah, AJ needs to be wary of Fury and make sure he puts a good camp in. He said, I wouldn't fight him. Do you know, like, there's levels to this. Saying, yeah, he needs to be wary, he needs to be on his P's and Q's, that's one thing. But saying you need to straight out duck the guy, for someone to say, yeah, especially as a fighter, for someone to say you need to straight out duck him, he'd need to be something like Spinks and Tyson. When Spinks refused to come out of the changing room, yeah, that's what it'd need to be. It'd need to be one of them ones where people are just like seriously got the fear of God in them. Guess what? And that's what makes me laugh, and that's how we know, yeah, that kind of there's more going on to this story. I'm sure there'll be Amir Khan fans who say, YB, if you're barking at the wrong tree here, but just ask yourself this question, yeah. What does it make more sense to you? Does it make more sense that Khan should tell AJ to avoid Fury, or does it make more sense for him to tell Fury to avoid AJ? From a mathematical point of view, in as much as who's got more power? Who's the more devastating fighter as such? On their best day, who's the most scary on their best day? It ain't Fury. But so what is it about this culture? Because I've noticed that there's been loads of fighters saying this or similar things. Tony Bellend, Fury's the best boxer, and Fury will box AJ's head off. We've heard all these things, but for some reason, even though the maths and the stats would say that, yeah, if anyone needs to be avoiding anyone, it should be Fury avoiding AJ. And not only that, to be fair, if the evidence, like currently over the last 3 years, where does the evidence point? Who's been avoiding who? Over the last 3 years, the evidence points to Fury avoiding AJ. So despite the actual evidence of Fury avoiding AJ, despite the kind of statistics and attributes which point to Fury avoiding AJ, these goofies will rock on interviews and say, yeah, even though Fury's been ducking AJ for 3 years, and even though AJ's got all the attribute advantage, AJ needs to avoid Fury. That's how you know there's a kind of an agenda going on. That's how you know these cats, it's not what it seems. It's not as simple as, he's just giving his boxing opinion. No. AJ came around your yard and put you in the cut cupboard and told you to keep the noise down in there. And he went, listen, yeah, that's what it was. And he rolled your legs off your missus. Yeah? He rode all the way home. And in the olden days when they used to ride horses, yeah, and you can kind of, sometimes you can just ride it so hard the legs are just burnt out and the horse is never the same again. That's what happened to Amir Khan. AJ rolled the legs off your missus. It's simple as that. 1700 style, yeah? 1700 style where there ain't no cars about. Rolled legs off it. All the way home did AJ go. And that's the end of that. And that's why you're mad now. You're mad now because your missus has been kind of just like a broken horse, yeah. Your missus, you're broken. She got legs rolled off her, and that's the end of that. But whose fault's that? That's on you. I'm afraid to break it to you. No one else will tell you this. I'm sure even if you've had counselling, your counsellor ain't going to be as frank as the YB, but I'll do your counsellor's job. The truth is, Carl, that's on you. If your missus had seen your strength, saying, you know what, yes, I'm chinless, but I'm going to get in there and stick it on Kelbrook anyway, she could have backed that. Instead, you ran off to the US and got knocked out anyway. What female going to see that and think, yeah, I'll have a piece of that. Yeah, I want him to ride, yeah, I want him to, yeah, I want him to ride the legs off me. There's not even one has thought that. And that's why you ended up in the cupboard. That's why she ended up picking the blower up and banging straight on the line to AJ. So, listen, I'm sure you're going to be hella mad, but it is what it is. Yeah? And no one, it's ain't on no one but you, Amir. And until you start dealing with your problems, it's going to be Pete for you. Just like Billy. In fact, you two, both of you, man, need to start make a little circle group up. Yeah? You two need to make up a little discussion group every Thursday night, get together and talk about how you've been did wrong. Yeah, you can come there and talk about, oh, AJ did me wrong, and Billy can talk about, oh, the YB stays doing me wrong, and he don't move his foot off my neck. That's what you can do. Yeah? You can call it Jackers and Chinless Anonymous. Jackers and Chinless Anonymous. Get together and talk through your issues, no doubt.